excuse me for my miscues. You know, I don't know how well I can articulate this, but I'll do it the best way I can. So, I was pretty much raised in church. I went to church from the time I was born until 18. 18 is when I finally graduated high school. Now in high school, I didn't do much, you know, except for church day and night. I didn't have too much problems because I was in the safety of that church. You know, things were expected of me, so I didn't do certain things. I didn't go certain places, didn't talk to certain people because I was in the safety of that church. But through my own iniquities, through me wanting to try stuff, through me trying to justify my own sin, I went and got involved with this young lady. Now, my sin taught me, or how I try to justify it, was, well, I'm planning on marrying her, so it's okay. Like, we do it one time, twice, three times, it's okay, I'm gonna marry her. In the end, it's all gonna be justified. But that's not how things work. Right. So I ended up continuing with this lady, and we ended up having a relationship, and at the end, it all dissolved. And once it dissolved, we was all in Charleston, once it dissolved, I ended up back down here. Now, through all of this, it was heavy burdens on me. I knew the word, I know what was expected of me, but I chose not to go that way. I chose to ignore it. I purposely didn't go to church when I was sinning or when I was in sin because it actually physically hurt. Because I knew what was expecting me. I knew the shame that I caused on my family and my church family because they taught me all this time. So I knew the hurt, and I didn't want to feel that hurt, so I purposely stayed away. It wasn't until I had an opportunity, and the opportunity came out of the air. Because 2 months prior, I was saying, man, I want to change in my career. And then my cousin, who worked at the job, said that, hey, there's an opportunity down here if you want to try out. I was like, ain't no way I'm going to get the job because what I do had nothing to do with the job. I was like, there's no way I get this job. I ended up getting the job. And lo and behold, when I got to the interview, I really did had a dream about Michael. I didn't know his name. I didn't know anything about it. And I didn't tell Michael until like a year later. But I had a dream of me being there. So me being there, like I finally was there, had the interview, he accepted me in the job, and we started working, and he started talking to me, just talking to me about Christ. And he realized, okay, he know a little stuff. I talked to him, and we talked back and forth, and I actually started going back to church. And when I went back to church, it seems like over and over and over, the more I didn't accept him, the more I crucified him. And it really felt that way. Till one day in August of 2019, between Michael, between my church, and my dad, him just talking to me. I was in church one day and a song came up. It says, give me you, everything else can wait. Give me you, I hope it's not too late. And she kept saying it over and over till it felt like I could feel all the sins. Like I really could feel it, and it felt like weight on me to the point where it wasn't an altar call or anything. It was just a choir singing. So I went up by myself and I had to get saved. There was no way in the world. I had to get saved. And by the time that happened, it was the burden lift. I mean, I felt like the burden really lift. And that's why when Michael was talking about it today, like I knew what that burden was. I was sitting up here crying because I knew what that burden was. And I knew how hard it was on me. So I'm a living witness. And I just want to say thank you today that you allowed me in your church to be baptized. But I took the wrong way, doing my own thing, going my own way, thinking that in the end it all worked out. Now I'm lucky. I call myself lucky, but blessed. Michael always say, you're not lucky, you're blessed. So, because when I was in Charleston, multiple times I could have died. one time in particular where I was almost face to face with the edge of a bridge because I fell asleep. And I drew for a half a mile and didn't realize that I was asleep. When I woke up, I actually swerved onto the bridge because I could have swerved off of it. Right. So I'm blessed to be standing here today. I'm blessed that he saw fit to save me. He saw fit to have my parents that I have to instill a word in me. Because when I was out there, even though I was engaging in those acts, every time I engaged in the act, it felt like at the end of it, it felt good during it. But at the end of it, it made me felt, the best word to describe it is disgusting. So you want to do it again because you want to feel that pleasure, but all in all, it makes you feel disgusted. It just makes you feel dirty. Because you know it's not in his, I knew his will. I knew it was in his will, and I know I took it out of context because I wanted to please my own flesh. When I was going through all that, I took all of that. And then when he saved me, he lifted that burden. I'm just happy that he lifted that burden off me. I don't know who this testimony can help, but I'll just like to say, thank you for the church, but I don't know who this testimony can help, but if it can help anybody, then I'm grateful. But I'll just let you know that choosing your own way is not the way. It's not the way. The two things that stuck with me is be ye not unequally yoked. And I'm telling you, and I don't know if you believe me or not, but I'm telling you, since I left that church and since I was with her, that's what I've heard the whole time. Be ye not unequally yoked. I know I was sinning. I know what I was doing. And lo and behold, I was bringing her down with me. And even though I was pleasuring myself, at the end of the day, when you sin, you not only hurt yourself. Right. I hurt multiple different families. I hurt me, I hurt my family, I hurt her and her family, and I hurt my church family. Because all through school, I was supposed to be that beacon. And once I left, and once I did the things I did, people can point at him and say, this is the product that you churn out. This is what you do. Now it hurt my church family, and it hurt my church family to be associated with me. And I realized, and they might never come and say that to me, but I know that. You feel it in your heart, you know that, and those are the stuff that you hurt over. Once I got saved, those are the stuff that I turned over, that I physically hurt about. Stuff like that. So, in closing, I just want to say, I'm thankful and I'm grateful for this opportunity to actually come up here and say my testimony. I'm just thankful and grateful that you guys invited me in. I'm thankful and grateful that I had a man of my caliber in my corner when I didn't know that I needed him.
Good.